Hello, my loves. Welcome into this Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse video for those who have this eclipse in their 9th house. That means your rising sign is Pisces and or 14 degrees, 58 minutes of Scorpio shows up in your 9th house. If you haven't already watched the introduction to this reading and you want to learn more about what we're doing here, it's linked in the description and popping up on YouTube. So the houses in the Zodiac story represent where things happen for us. So this is where this full moon lunar eclipse is happening for you. This is where in your life you're going to feel activated, feel the effects of, see the effects of this moon phase over the next 6 months, because eclipse energies last 6 months, as I mentioned in the beginning, in the introduction. So the 9th house is the house of spirituality, ruled by the 9th sign of the Zodiac, which is Sagittarius. It deals with the area of your life involving higher education, ideology, travel, philosophy, and a second partner if that applies. So we're going to dive into the Light Seer Tarot, get an affirmation here, and then we're going to relate the affirmation to this house and all of this information to how to free yourself from the human condition. So if you have not already closed your eyes, taken a few deep breaths, and opened your heart to receive the guidance most aligned for you at this time, here's your invitation to do that. You can invite in any spiritual support that you want to. Just ask that they be here in unconditional love and for your highest good and the highest good of all. Beautiful. You guys got the Wheel card. Let's see what affirmation she brings. I allow the transformative energies of fate to help me expand my experience. Sorry, there's like a word missing here. I allow the transformative energies of fate to help me to expand my experience. Here, you can see what I was looking at. Oops, sorry. So you can pause this and write this down if you want. Beautiful. So it feels like there's going to be a spiritual expansion for you. That there's going to be... The Wheel card is always talking about fate. It's always talking about cycles. It's always talking about this energy of things coming to an end, things beginning, things in different phases. And so your spirituality is undergoing a transformation. And fate is playing a huge role in that. So what I'm really feeling for you is there's going to be things going on in the world that are inviting you to transform. And rather than resist them, look at them as the wheel turning and you being moved into a different experience, a different cycle, particularly when it comes to your philosophy, what you believe, your spirituality, and everything that comes from that place. Now, it could be that the human condition material itself that I'm presenting you is the catalyst for this shift, for this new cycle for you. Because what it does is it really does help us develop a completely different philosophy, a completely different spiritual understanding of ourselves, of humanity, of our journeys, of our fellow humans' journeys, and gives us a whole new way of looking at our lives, looking at what's possible for us, and a really unique way of looking at the world. Now, one thing that has happened for me in my spiritual life when encountering the human condition material is when reading Jeremy Griffith's book, Freedom, available for free at humancondition.com/freedom. I believe that's the link. Humancondition.com, they can go to books and then click on Freedom. In reading his book, he talks about how what he calls pseudo-idealism in the spiritual world, the spiritual movement that has been trying to ignore the human condition and spiritually bypass the human condition, essentially. And so my own spiritual understanding and beliefs and practices have shifted with understanding the human condition and seeing the lens of pseudo-idealism, as he calls it, that the spiritual New Age movement really represents. Because as valuable as the tools that the spiritual world bring us, the cards, the gemstones, the astrological cycles, our own ability to connect intuitively, meditation, healing practices like Ho'oponopono, and physical practices like tapping, they do offer us an incredible amount of support, healing, and understanding. But in the context of this material, they're here they're like, the surface level is like mainstream, right? And the spiritual world gets to kind of like the whole root system, but like the depth of it all, the from where it's all coming from, is the human condition material and understanding, essentially. So there's a deepening of your spiritual world and life and your philosophies on life that occurs when you encounter this material. And I feel like this material itself is this wheel, but you may also be experiencing things in the outer world that are fate turning the wheel for you. And just to be open to that, be willing to embrace the cycle, embrace the transformation, and open up to seeing it as fate and not seeing yourself as a victim of what is happening, but see yourself as a beneficiary of the unfoldings. It is likely that things will get dramatic again on the world stage, and that what plays out on the world stage will impact your life in a real way. And that is going to invite you into a deeper spirituality, a deeper philosophy, a different ideology. It might invite you to travel. It might bring in a second partner. And just to trust that that's happening for the good, but also to bring in this material of the human condition and content, because understanding the human condition can help you understand what's going on in the outer world. It can help you see through maybe some of the hollowness of what's playing out on the world stage. I would love to see this information come onto the world stage, but it may be not quite time for that yet. We will see. But the more that we in our individual lives seek to understand the root cause of all of the suffering of ourselves and our fellow humans on this planet, we can really transform our understanding, our spiritual nature. And when we do that, we're in a whole different cycle. We have a whole different slew of opportunities available to us because of this shift and transition. So that's what you're being invited into for this lunar phase. I've been thinking of things after I stopped these videos, and it's been driving me crazy, but you know, Mercury is retrograde. Yeah, it's just helping you to expand your experience of life. The energy of fate and your own spiritual, philosophical, ideological beliefs are undergoing a new phase as fate plays a hand in the unfolding. Let me know how this resonates. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.